Introducing the all-new Corolla.
The port has scaled down its modernization master plan to fit the scaled-down version of the military buildup, but the port will still be requiring several increases in tariffs over the next 5 years. The port is requesting an interim tariff increase of 5.65% for fiscal year 2014. The tariff rates would go down to 4.36% for 2015 to 2019, and by 2020, it'll drop down to 3.95%. Ultimately, this will lead to an increase in the cost of goods imported into Guam and an increase in the cost consumers will have to pay for virtually everything. Senator Frank Ogun Jr. is concerned about how these rates will affect the people of Guam.
Based on what our people can conceivably absorb in terms of the increasing costs, what is your... I'm trying to look at the justification for those rate adjustments for the foreseeable 5 or 6 years so that at least our people can understand.
Port General Manager Joanne Brown says that these increases are necessary in order to borrow the money the port needs to modernize. Brown points out that the operations and infrastructure of the port have not been invested in for many years.
Up until today, every single major structure except for the generator facilities there were built by the Navy. A certain percentage of that 5.6 and also the interim, from the interim tariff to what you will see for the tariff to be increased over the next 5 years also addresses a certain degree of organic growth that's needed. And that's to simply address maintenance, to ensure that we get proper equipment.
Brown says these modernization efforts, which include things like increasing container yard and break bulk space, will enhance port capacity by 25 to 30%. Lawmakers also asked for an update on the consulting contract with Parsons Brinckerhoff. Brown says that they've been fortunate to have the expertise of PB working with the port for the last few years.
We are assessing options on whether or not, with the existing task orders where there is still work remaining, whether or not our federal grantor would look at the possibility of extending that perhaps another 4 or 5 or 6 months.